Welcome to the Sleepy Economist. If you're here, if you've chosen to be here in this moment, then something in you is ready to let go. So let's begin there with letting go. You are lying down now. Your head is supported by a pillow. Your body is sinking into whatever surface holds you. The mattress beneath you accepts your full weight. There is no effort required, no holding, no tensing, just the gradual release of every muscle into rest. Allow your jaw to separate slightly, the back teeth no longer touching. Your tongue rests heavy in the bottom of your mouth. The muscles around your eyes soften completely. Your forehead smooths. The small space between your eyebrows releases. Your temples relax. Your shoulders sink downward, down into the pillow, down into the mattress, down into the darkness that surrounds you. Each exhale is slightly longer than the one before. Not by force, simply by the body's natural wisdom, the wisdom that knows how to rest. When given permission, you are safe here. The room is dark, or nearly dark. The temperature is comfortable. There are no tasks remaining. Nothing requires your attention. No decisions await. The day has ended. The night stretches ahead, long and without structure or demand. Tonight, you are going to hear about something very small. A single peppercorn, a dried berry from a vine that grows on the southwestern coast of India. This peppercorn weighs approximately 0.05 of a gram. It fits easily in your palm. It is hard, wrinkled, unremarkable. But in the year 1450, this peppercorn was worth the same as a silver coin in Europe. 10 peppercorns could buy a chicken. 100 peppercorns could pay a month's rent. 500 peppercorns could purchase a cow. This tiny dried berry was currency, was wealth, was worth more gram for gram than gold. We are going to follow this peppercorn from the vine where it grew to the table where it was ground. A journey of 5,000 miles. That took 3 years. We will move slowly, methodically, step by step, transaction by transaction. There is no rush. There has never been a rush. The spice trade operated at the speed of wind and current, at the pace of a walking camel, for 2,000 years. You do not need to remember any of this. There will be no test. No one will ask you tomorrow about pepper prices or trade routes. The information you're about to hear is historically accurate, but existentially unimportant to your life. It will not help you. It will not burden you. It simply exists, like dried berries in old jars, like trade routes covered by sand, like the slow accumulation of centuries. If you fall asleep in the next 5 minutes, you have succeeded perfectly. If you remain awake for 20 minutes, listening, you have also succeeded. If you hear every word and still lie here with closed eyes, breathing slowly, you have succeeded because you have rested. You have given yourself permission to stop. That is enough. That is always enough. Imagine, if you can, that you are somewhere else, not in movement, but in thought. You are standing in a pepper garden, the Malabar coast of India, the region now called Kerala. The year is 1448. The morning is warm, humid. The air is thick with moisture. The sky is pale blue, fading to white at the horizon. The pepper vines grow on host trees, mango trees mostly. The vines wrap around the trunks, climbing upward toward the light. Each vine is perhaps 20 feet long, maybe 30. The leaves are dark green, glossy, shaped like elongated hearts. Among the leaves hang clusters of berries, green berries, small, each berry the size of a pea. You are not alone. A man is working nearby. He is perhaps 40 years old, perhaps 50. His skin is dark brown, weathered by sun. He wears a simple cloth wrapped around his waist. His feet are bare. He has been harvesting pepper since he was a child. His father harvested pepper. His grandfather harvested pepper. His son will harvest pepper. This is what they do. This is what they have always done. The man reaches up, grasps a cluster of berries, pulls gently. The cluster separates from the vine with a soft snap. He places the cluster in a woven basket. The basket hangs from his shoulder. He reaches up again. Another cluster, another soft snap, another deposit in the basket. The rhythm is steady, unhurried, repetitive. The harvest takes days, weeks. The vines produce berries once per year. The season is short. When the berries are ready, they must be picked, all of them, quickly enough that none spoil on the vine, slowly enough that none are damaged in the picking. The balance is delicate. The work is constant. Each vine produces approximately 1 kilogram of fresh berries, about 2.2 pounds. Each garden contains perhaps 50 vines. 50 kilograms of fresh berries per garden, about 110 pounds. This seems like a large amount. It is not. The berries are mostly water. They will shrink as they dry. 1 kilogram of fresh berries becomes approximately 300 grams of dried peppercorns. About 2/3 of the weight disappears. The man fills his basket, empties it into a larger basket near the edge of the garden, fills his basket again, empties it again. This continues for hours. The sun rises higher, the heat increases, the humidity becomes oppressive. Sweat runs down his back, down his arms, drips from his chin. He does not stop. There is no shade, no rest, not yet. The berries must be picked. By midday, the harvest is complete. The large basket is full of green pepper clusters, perhaps 40 kilograms, maybe 50. The man carries the basket to a cleared area, a flat space of hard-packed earth. The ground has been swept clean. No stones, no debris, just smooth, dry dirt. He spreads the pepper clusters on the ground, not in a pile, in a layer, a thin layer, each cluster separated from the others, spread evenly across the drying area. This process is called winnowing, or perhaps spreading. The terminology varies by region. The process does not. The pepper must dry. This is essential. Fresh pepper berries cannot be stored, cannot be transported. They contain too much moisture. They would rot, mold, spoil within days. But dried pepper, with the moisture removed, can last for years, can be stored in sacks, can be loaded onto ships, can cross oceans, can survive the journey. The drying takes time, days. The berries lie in the sun. The heat draws out the moisture, slowly, gradually. After one day, the berries begin to wrinkle. The green skin darkens slightly, becomes dull, less glossy. After 2 days, the wrinkles deepen. The color shifts from green toward brown. After 3 days, the berries are no longer green. They are brown, dark brown, almost black. But they are not finished. They must dry completely, thoroughly. This takes 7 days, sometimes 10. It depends on the weather, on the heat of the sun, on the humidity in the air, on the thickness of the layer, on a dozen small variables. Each morning, the man returns to the drying area. He walks among the spread berries. He uses a wooden rake, a simple tool, a handle with wooden teeth. He pulls the rake through the berries, gently. This turns them, exposes the underside to the sun, ensures even drying. The sound is distinctive, a soft rustling, like rain on leaves, but drier, harder. The berries click against each other as the rake passes through. Click, 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 a gentle, repetitive sound, soothing, hypnotic. On the 3rd day, something changes. The man picks up a berry, holds it between his thumb and forefinger, presses gently. The berry resists. It is no longer soft, no longer pliable. It has hardened. This is good. This means the moisture is leaving. On the 5th day, he picks up another berry, presses harder. The berry cracks slightly. The outer shell has become brittle. The interior has shrunk away from the shell. There is now a small hollow space inside. When the berry is shaken, something rattles inside. The seed, the kernel, loose now, separated from the dried flesh. On the 7th day, The berries are ready. They are completely dry, completely hard. The green has become black. The smooth has become wrinkled. The plump has become shriveled. The transformation is complete. These are no longer fresh berries. They are peppercorn. Your breathing has slowed now. The details of harvest and drying are washing over you like warm water. You do not need to hold them. They flow past, present for a moment, then gone. The numbers: 7 days, 50 kilograms, 300 grams. They become sounds, just sounds, vibrations without meaning, gentle, repetitive, rhythmic. Let them go. Let the information drift away like smoke. You are not here to learn. You are here to rest, to descend, to release the day and everything it held. The dried peppercorns must now be sorted. This is meticulous work, time-consuming work, but necessary. The quality of the pepper determines the price, and the price determines everything. The man sits in the shade, finally, some shade, under a thatched roof supported by wooden poles, a simple structure, open on all sides. The floor is hard-packed earth. A large woven mat is spread on the floor. The dried peppercorns are poured onto the mat, a pile of black, wrinkled berries. He begins to sort. He picks up a handful of peppercorns, examines them. Most are good, properly dried, uniform in size. These go into one basket, the first grade basket. These are the valuable ones. These will fetch the highest price. But some peppercorns are too small, undersized. These are separated. They go into a second basket, second grade. They will sell for less, perhaps half the price, perhaps less than that. Some peppercorns are broken, cracked during drying, or damaged during raking. These go into a third basket, third grade. These will sell for very little. They may be ground into powder immediately, sold locally. They will not make the journey to Europe. The sorting continues for hours, handful after handful. The man's fingers move quickly, automatically. He does not need to think. His hands know. They have done this thousands of times. The muscle memory is complete. The pattern is automatic. By evening, the sorting is finished. The first grade basket contains perhaps 20 kilograms of peppercorns. The second grade basket contains 8 kilograms. The third grade basket contains 5 kilograms. The rest, approximately 7 kilograms, is waste, stems, debris, dust. This is swept aside, composted, returned to the earth. 20 kilograms of first-grade pepper. This is the product of one garden, one season, 1 year of work. 20 kilograms equals approximately 44 pounds. at 5/100ths of a gram per peppercorn. 20 kilograms equals approximately 400,000 individual peppercorns. 400,000 peppercorns, each one picked by hand, each one dried in the sun, each one examined and sorted. The scale of the labor is enormous. The care required is absolute. This is not industrial production. This is craft. This is patience. This is tradition. The peppercorns are placed in sacks. Not large sacks, small sacks. Each sack holds approximately 5 kilograms, about 11 pounds. 4 sacks total from this garden. The sacks are made of rough cloth, jute, perhaps, or hemp, a coarse weave, strong, durable. The sacks are tied closed with rope, simple rope, made from coconut fiber, brown, rough to the touch. The sacks are carried to a central collection point, a warehouse near the port. The port is called Calicut. It is the major trading center on the Malabar coast. Ships arrive here from Arabia, from Persia, from East Africa, from China, from every corner of the known world. They come for pepper and for other spices, cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, cloves, but mostly for pepper. The warehouse is large, a single-story building. The walls are mud brick. The roof is thatched palm leaves. Inside, it is dark, cool. The air smells of earth and spice, a complex smell, layered, rich. The smell of pepper is dominant, sharp, slightly pungent, mixed with the sweetness of cinnamon, the warmth of cardamom, the bite of ginger. Sacks are stacked along the walls. Hundreds of sacks, perhaps thousands. Each sack identical to the others. Brown cloth, tied with rope, stacked in neat rows, from floor to ceiling. The accumulation of months of harvest, from dozens of gardens, from hundreds of workers. A merchant manages this warehouse. He is Indian, local. He buys pepper from the farmers, stores it here, waits for the Arab traders to arrive. When they arrive, he sells. The negotiation is formal, ritualized. It follows patterns established over centuries. The Arab trader arrives on a dhow, a traditional sailing vessel. The dhow is perhaps 60 feet long, made of wood, teak mostly. The hull is curved, graceful. The sail is triangular, lateen-rigged. This design allows the ship to sail close to the wind, to tack efficiently, to make headway even when the wind is not directly favorable. The trader comes to the warehouse. He is accompanied by an assistant, perhaps 2 assistants. They speak Arabic. The merchant speaks Malayalam, the local language. But they also speak a trading language, a pidgin. a mixture of Arabic, Malayalam, Tamil, and Persian. This language has no name. It exists only for commerce, for negotiation, for the exchange of goods and money. The trader examines the pepper. He opens several sacks. At random, he removes a handful of peppercorns from each, examines them closely, looks for size, for uniformity, for color, for dryness. He bites one, cracks it between his teeth, tastes it. The flavor tells him about quality, about freshness, about proper drying. He is satisfied. The quality is good. He offers a price. 15 silver dirhams per sack. Each sack weighs 5 kilograms. Each dirham is approximately 3.2 grams of silver. 15 dirhams equals 48 grams of silver for 5 kilograms of pepper. The merchant counters 20 dirhams per sack. The trader shakes his head. 18 dirhams. The merchant considers. 19 dirhams. The trader pauses, agrees. 19 dirhams per sack. They shake hands. The deal is made. The trader purchases 100 sacks. This is a large order. 500 kilograms of pepper, about 1,100 pounds. The total cost is 1,900 dirhams. This equals approximately 6,000 grams of silver. 6 kilograms, about 13 pounds of silver. The payment is made. Not in dirhams, actually. Dirhams are a unit of account, a way of measuring value. The actual payment is in silver coins, various coins, from various places. Persian coins, Byzantine coins, Chinese coins. Each coin is weighed. Its silver content is verified. The total weight must equal 6 kilograms. The weighing takes time. Each coin is placed on a bronze scale, a balance scale, with weights on one side and coins on the other. When the scale balances, the weight is confirmed. The process is repeated, coin by coin, weight by weight. It takes hours. When the weighing is complete, the silver is placed in a wooden chest. The chest is locked. The trader takes the key. The pepper sacks are carried to the dhow. 100 sacks carried by porters. 10 sacks per trip. 10 trips. The loading takes the entire afternoon. The sacks are stored in the hold of the dhow. The hold is below deck. Dark. The ceiling is low, perhaps 5 feet. A man cannot stand fully upright. The sacks are stacked carefully, tightly, efficiently. Every available space is used. The ship will be heavy, low in the water. This is good. This provides stability. A heavy ship is safer in rough seas. When the loading is complete, the dhow departs. Not immediately. The departure depends on the wind, on the season. The Indian Ocean has a monsoon system, seasonal winds. From June to September, the wind blows from the southwest. Ships sail from Arabia to India. From October to May, the wind blows from the northeast. Ships sail from India to Arabia. It is now March 1448. The northeast monsoon is ending. Soon the winds will shift. But for now, the wind is favorable. The dhow can sail west, toward Arabia, toward Aden, the major port at the southern tip of the Arabian Peninsula. The voyage takes approximately 2 weeks, perhaps 3. It depends on the wind, on the weather, on the skill of the captain. The dhow follows the coast for the first few days, stays within sight of land, then turns west, out into the open ocean, the Arabian Sea. The sea is vast, empty. The horizon is perfectly flat, a line where blue water meets blue sky. No land is visible, only water, only sky. The dhow is alone, a small wooden vessel in an enormous expanse of blue. The crew is small, 6 men, maybe 8. The captain, the navigator, the sailors. They work in shifts, 2 men always awake, always watching. The others sleep, below deck, among the sacks of pepper. The smell is strong, inescapable. The peppercorns release their aroma, the heat, the humidity. It intensifies the smell. The routine on the ship is simple, repetitive. The sails are adjusted as the wind changes. The course is corrected based on the stars. At night, the captain uses a kamal, a simple navigation tool, a wooden board with a string. He holds the string in his teeth, positions the board so that the North Star appears at the top edge, the horizon at the bottom edge. The angle tells him the latitude. This is enough. This is how navigation works, has worked for centuries. During the day, there is little to do. The ship sails itself mostly. The wind fills the sail. The current aids the progress. The men sit, talk, sleep, eat simple meals, dried fish, flatbread, dates. They drink water, stored in clay jars. The water tastes of clay, but it is cool, refreshing. At night, the temperature drops. The air becomes comfortable, almost pleasant. The sky is extraordinary. No light pollution, no cities, no lamps, only stars. Thousands of stars. Millions. The Milky Way is a bright band across the sky. The constellations are clear, vivid. The sailors know them all, can name them, can read them like a map. On the 8th day, land is sighted, the coast of Arabia. Low hills visible on the horizon, brown, barren. Nothing grows here. This is desert. But there are settlements, ports, places where ships stop, where goods are traded, where journeys pause. On the 10th day, the dhow arrives at Aden. Aden is a natural harbour, protected by hills on 3 sides. The water is calm, deep. Many ships are anchored here. Dhows like this one. Larger ships from China, smaller boats from East Africa. The harbour is busy, active. This is a crossroads, a meeting point of trade routes. Your body is very heavy now. Your limbs have sunk into the mattress. Your breathing is deep and slow and regular. The story of the dhow and its voyage is fading, becoming distant, like something remembered from long ago. Or perhaps something dreamed. The details blur. The pepper sacks, the Arabian Sea, the stars at night. They merge into a general impression, a feeling of something slow, something repetitive, something that no longer matters. And that is true. It no longer matters. The specific voyage, the specific dhow, the specific trader, these people are gone, have been gone for over 500 years. The ships have rotted. The pepper has been consumed. Only the pattern remains, the route, the method, the system of exchange. The pepper is unloaded in Aden, carried from the dhow to another warehouse. This warehouse is larger than the one in Calicut. The walls are stone. The roof is wooden beams covered with thatch. Inside, the smell is similar. Pepper, cinnamon, other spices, but also frankincense, myrrh, the aromatic resins from Arabia itself. The Arab trader does not keep the pepper here for long. Aden is a transit point. Goods arrive from the east, are transferred to other vessels, sail north, toward Egypt, toward the Mediterranean, toward Europe, but not by sea, not the entire way. The Red Sea is difficult to navigate, narrow, shallow in places, prone to sudden storms. Many ships prefer to avoid it. Instead, they unload in Aden. The goods are transferred to camels. The camels carry the goods overland, north, through the Arabian desert, to ports on the Mediterranean coast. 100 sacks of pepper are too many for a single camel caravan. The trader divides the shipment. 50 sacks will go immediately. 50 will wait. Will be sent on the next caravan, perhaps next month, perhaps the month after. There is no urgency. The pepper will not spoil. It can wait. The first 50 sacks are loaded onto camels. Each camel can carry approximately 200 kilograms, about 440 pounds. 50 sacks of pepper at 5 kilograms each equals 250 kilograms. This requires 2 camels, but caravans travel with many more camels. 20 camels, 30, 40, They carry many goods: pepper, cinnamon, coffee, textiles. Each merchant's goods are mixed with others for safety, for efficiency. The caravan departs at dawn. The air is cool, almost cold. The sun has not yet risen. The sky is pale grey. The camels are loaded, tied together in a line. Lead ropes connect each camel to the next. The lead camel is controlled by a single man, the camel driver. The rest follow automatically. The route follows ancient paths, paths worn into the desert by thousands of years of travel. The paths are not paved. They are not marked. They are simply the easiest routes, the routes where water is available, where the terrain is passable, where caravansaries exist. The caravan stops at a caravanserai every 3 or 4 days, sometimes more frequently, sometimes less. It depends on the distance between water sources. In some stretches, water is abundant. Caravanserais are close together. In other stretches, water is scarce. The distance between stops is greater. The journey between them more difficult. At the caravanserai, the camels are unloaded. The loads are removed from their backs, stacked in the courtyard. The camels are watered, fed. They eat dried vegetation, dates, grain, whatever is available. They rest. They need rest. The work is hard. The heat is intense. The load is heavy. The men rest as well. They spread mats on the ground. In the small rooms, in the shade, they eat flatbread, dried meat, dates. They drink tea, strong tea, sweetened with honey or sugar. The tea is brewed in a pot over a small fire. The fire is fed with dried dung, camel dung. It burns slowly, produces steady heat. The smell is distinctive, not unpleasant, earthy, organic. After eating, the men talk, or they sleep. Sleep is important. The days are long. The work is continuous. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a necessity. The desert is quiet at night, very quiet. There are sounds, the wind, the camels shifting, the crackle of a dying fire. But these sounds are soft, distant. They do not disturb. In the morning, the caravan departs again. Before dawn, the process repeats. Load the camels, walk, stop for midday rest, walk again, stop at sunset, unload, water, feed, sleep. This pattern continues for weeks, day after day. The landscape changes slowly. The desert is not uniform. Sometimes it is sand, golden dunes stretching to the horizon. Sometimes it is rock, flat expanses of stone. Sometimes it is gravel, small stones covering the ground like a rough carpet. On the 35th day, the caravan reaches a city. Not a large city, a medium-sized city, perhaps 5,000 people. The buildings are mud brick, the streets are narrow, unpaved. The market is in the center, a large open square. Merchants sell goods, food, textiles, tools, animals. The noise is considerable. Voices, haggling, arguing, laughing. The sounds of commerce. The pepper is not sold here. This city is another transit point. The caravan continues north, always north, toward the Mediterranean, toward the sea, toward the ships that will carry the pepper to Europe. On the 42nd day, the caravan reaches the coast. The city is Alexandria, in Egypt. Alexandria is ancient. It was founded by Alexander the Great in 331 before the Common Era. It has been a trading center for over 1,700 years. It is one of the greatest ports in the world. The pepper is unloaded, carried into another warehouse. This warehouse is enormous, the largest yet. Stone walls, vaulted ceilings, multiple rooms, each room filled with goods from every corner of the known world. Pepper from India, cinnamon from Ceylon, cloves from the Moluccas, silk from China, ivory from Africa, gold from Nubia. Everything passes through Alexandria. Everything. The pepper waits here. Days, weeks. It waits for a Venetian galley. Venice controls much of the Mediterranean trade. Venetian ships sail to Alexandria regularly. They bring European goods, wool, linen, metalware. They take back spices, silks, luxury goods. The trade is profitable, enormously profitable. A galley arrives. It is a large ship, perhaps 150 feet long, powered by oars and sails. The oars are used in calm weather, in harbors, in narrow passages. The sails are used in open water. When the wind is favorable, the ship has 3 masts. Each mast carries a large square sail. When all sails are raised, the ship is fast. It can cover 100 miles per day in good conditions. The galley is loaded. The process takes days. Hundreds of items. Thousands of individual pieces. Each must be carried aboard, stowed carefully. The pepper sacks go into the hold, stacked tightly, along with other spices, other goods. The hold is full when loading is complete. The ship sits low in the water, heavy, stable. The galley departs Alexandria, sails west, along the North African coast, then north, toward Crete, toward the Greek islands, then northwest, toward the Adriatic Sea, toward Venice. The voyage takes approximately 30 days, perhaps 40. It depends on the wind, on the weather, on stops along the way. The Mediterranean is different from the Arabian Sea, smaller, more enclosed. The water is a different blue, darker, deeper. The weather is more variable. Storms are more common, but the storms are predictable, seasonal. The sailors know when to expect them, know how to avoid them, when to stay in port, when to sail. The galley arrives in Venice on a warm day in July, 1449, 15 months after the peppercorns were harvested. 15 months of travel, from Kerala to Calicut, from Calicut to Aden, from Aden across the desert to Alexandria, from Alexandria to Venice. 5,000 miles, maybe more. Venice is unlike any other city. It is built on islands, in a lagoon. The streets are water, canals, narrow passages between buildings. Boats are the primary transport. Gondolas, small rowboats, larger cargo boats. The city is wealthy, very wealthy. The buildings reflect this. Stone facades, ornate carvings, colored marble, gold leaf. The wealth of the East, concentrated here, displayed here. The pepper is unloaded, carried to the Fondaco dei Tedeschi, the German warehouse, a large building near the Rialto Bridge. This is where foreign merchants operate, where goods are stored, where deals are made. The pepper is placed in a secure room, locked, guarded. Pepper is valuable. Theft is a concern, always a concern. A Venetian merchant purchases the pepper, not all 50 sacks, just 10. 10 sacks equals 50 kilograms, about 110 pounds. The price is extraordinary. The Arab trader paid 19 dirhams per sack in Calicut, about 60 grams of silver per sack. The Venetian merchant pays 50 ducats per sack. A ducat is a Venetian gold coin. Each ducat weighs approximately 3.5 grams. Each ducat is pure gold. 50 ducats equals 175 grams of gold per sack. For 5 kilograms of pepper. In Calicut, the trader paid 60 grams of silver per sack. In Venice, the merchant pays 175 grams of gold per sack. Gold is worth approximately 12 times more than silver. So 175 grams of gold equals approximately 2,100 grams of silver. The price has increased by a factor of 35, from 60 grams to 2,100 grams. This is not all profit. The Arab trader paid for the dhow, for the crew, for the camel caravan, for fees and taxes at multiple ports, for insurance, for guards, for storage. The expenses were considerable. But even after expenses, the profit margin was approximately 20%. 20% of 2,100 grams of silver is 420 grams. This is the profit per sack. 10 sacks yields 4,200 grams of profit, about 9 pounds of silver, for 15 months of trade. The Venetian merchant does not keep the pepper in Venice. He sells it to merchants from other European cities, from Germany, from France, from England. They come to Venice to buy. They take the pepper home, sell it in their own markets, at even higher prices. A German merchant purchases 5 sacks, takes them to Nuremberg. In Nuremberg, he sells the pepper to local merchants, to apothecaries, to wealthy households. The price in Nuremberg is 70 ducats per sack. The German merchant bought it for 50. He makes a profit of 20 ducats per sack, 100 ducats total, about 350 grams of gold, for transporting pepper from Venice to Nuremberg. A journey of perhaps 3 weeks. An apothecary in Nuremberg purchases 1 sack, 5 kilograms of pepper. He does not sell it by the sack. He sells it by the gram, by the ounce, by the peppercorn. He divides the 5 kilograms into smaller portions, sells each portion separately. The profit is substantial. 5 kilograms equals 5,000 grams. If he sells each gram for 1 pfennig, he earns 5,000 pfennig. This equals approximately 50 ducats. He paid 70 ducats for the sack. His profit is negative. He loses money at 1 pfennig per gram, but he does not charge 1 pfennig per gram. He charges 5 pfennig per gram, or 10, or more, depending on the customer, depending on the demand. At 5 pfennig per gram, he earns 25,000 pfennig, about 250 ducats. His profit is 180 ducats. He paid 70. He earned 250. The profit margin is over 200%. Your eyes are closed. Have been closed for some time, perhaps. The words continue, but they are becoming more distant, like sounds from another room. Muffled, indistinct. You catch fragments. Ducat, gram, Venice, profit. But the fragments do not connect, do not form a complete picture. They drift through your awareness like clouds, present briefly, then gone. This is good. This is the intention, not to inform, but to accompany, to provide a gentle sound, a rhythm, a cadence that supports the descent into sleep. The content is irrelevant. The tone is everything. Slow, steady, unchanging, reliable. And so the pepper reaches its final destination. Not all at once, gradually, over months, over years. The sacks are divided, subdivided, divided again, until the pepper exists not as sacks, but as grams, as peppercorns, as powder. A wealthy household in Nuremberg purchases 20 grams of whole peppercorns, about 400 peppercorns. This costs 100 pfennig. 100 pfennig is a significant sum, perhaps a week's wages for a laborer, perhaps more. But the household is wealthy. They can afford it. The peppercorns are placed in a small wooden box. The box is kept in the kitchen, on a shelf, high up, away from moisture, away from light. The peppercorns will last for years in this box. They will be used sparingly, carefully. 1 or 2 peppercorns per dish, ground fresh, using a mortar and pestle. The mortar is stone, heavy. The pestle is also stone, smooth, worn from use. A few peppercorns are placed in the mortar. The pestle is pressed down, rotated. The peppercorns crack. The sound is sharp, distinct. The aroma is released, immediate, powerful. The smell of pepper fills the kitchen, sharp, pungent, slightly floral, complex. Pepper is valuable, not just because it is rare, not just because it comes from far away, but because it transforms. It changes food from bland to flavorful, from monotonous to interesting. In a time before refrigeration, pepper also preserves. The antimicrobial properties slow spoilage, extend the life of meat, of fish. This is practical. This is useful. But mostly, pepper is valuable because it is desired, because people want it, because having pepper signals status, signals wealth, signals access to distant places, signals participation in global trade. A household with pepper is not an ordinary household. It is connected. It is sophisticated. It is worldly. And this desire, this demand, sustained the trade for 2,000 years. From approximately 500 before the Common Era to 1500 of the Common Era. 2,000 years. The same routes, the same methods, the same pattern of exchange. Harvest, dry, sort, pack, transport, sell, transport, sell again, transport, sell again. Each step adding value, each step increasing the price. The system was stable, predictable, reliable. It changed slowly, very slowly. New routes emerged gradually. Old routes were abandoned gradually, but the fundamentals remained. Pepper grew in India, was desired in Europe, and the distance between them was traversed by ship and camel, by dhow and galley, by wind and current and the steady pace of walking. This all ended in 1498. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, sailed around the southern tip of Africa, reached India directly, without passing through Arabia, without passing through Egypt, without passing through Venice. This was revolutionary. This changed everything. The Portuguese could now buy pepper directly from Indian merchants, could transport it directly to Europe, without middlemen, without intermediaries, without the layers of markup. The price fell, not immediately, but gradually, over decades. By 1550, pepper cost half what it cost in 1450. By 1600, it cost 1/4. By 1650, it was common, affordable, on every table. The great spice trade, the trade that had enriched Venice, that had created fortunes, that had funded the Renaissance itself, it declined, not disappeared, declined. Pepper still moved from India to Europe, but the route changed, the profits changed, the romance changed. It became ordinary, mundane, no longer the province of wealthy merchants and adventurous traders, just commerce, simple, efficient, boring. And now, in the 21st century, pepper is ubiquitous. You can buy a pound of peppercorns for $5, perhaps less. A pound equals approximately 450 grams. At 5/100ths of a gram per peppercorn, this is 9,000 peppercorns. 9,000 for $5. In 1450, 9,000 peppercorns would have cost approximately 180 ducats, about 630 grams of gold. At current gold prices, approximately $40,000. The value has decreased by a factor of 8,000, from $40,000 to $5 for the same amount of pepper, the same peppercorns, the same product. What changed was not the pepper. The pepper is the same, identical. It grows on the same vines, is harvested the same way, is dried the same way. What changed was the route, the method of transport, the speed, the efficiency, the elimination of middlemen, the reduction of distance through technology. The 15-month journey from Kerala to Nuremberg is now accomplished in 3 days, by airplane, by cargo jet. The peppercorns are still packed in sacks, still weighed, still sold. But the process is fast, efficient, cheap. There is no mystique, no romance, no sense of adventure, just logistics, just supply chain management, just economics. And you, lying here in the dark, you have pepper in your kitchen, almost certainly. A jar of peppercorns, or a pepper grinder. You use it without thinking, without considering the history, without remembering the 2,000 years of trade, the thousands of miles of travel, the dozens of transactions, the enormous markup, the wealth created and destroyed, all for these tiny, black, wrinkled berries. You are drifting now. The story of pepper, the trade routes, the merchants, the dhows and galleys and camel caravans, all of it is fading, becoming distant, becoming dream, becoming the formless space between waking and sleeping, the space where nothing is required, where nothing matters, where you can simply be. The peppercorn in your hand is dissolving. The value is gone. The journey is forgotten. The trade has ended. What remains is just the taste, the bite, the subtle heat, nothing more, nothing less. The vine in Kerala is still growing. The berries are still drying. The trade continues, but quietly. And you are sleeping. Sleep now.